You got
She's
shadow
had enough of
sickness.
everyone's shit. What?
She got shadow sickness.
He's not telling us we transitioned. He just wants to see how long you guys keep going.
I knew we transitioned. I saw the countdown.
I gave
a
a visual countdown.
I saw it.
I actually didn't see it. I was looking on a completely different screen trying to move around.
Oh.
Look, everybody, until we get an intern in here, this is not going to be as seamless as you want it to be.
We're pros,
Which, by
right?
the way, we are hiring.
Wait,
The pay is shit.
I was gonna say somebody's gonna get paid.
I was like, y'all get paid?
Anything
Kevin,
we earn
we've
out
been
of...
through this. You got the trailer because that's what you wanted. Everyone else actually gets paid.
You guys gave me a cardboard box labeled trailer. The R was
Spoilers.
backwards.
You were pretty happy about it.
I'm still happy about it, but I'm, you know. That's what it
We
rains.
don't even pay ourselves. We just pay for services we're using for the stream and everything. And then sometimes we donate it to Extra Life, so...
We donate a
Interns don't
lot to
get
Extra
paid.
Life.
Extra life!
Yay!
Anyway, good evening, everyone. It's our usual chaotic grab bag of nonsense.
Oh, I'm an octopus.
What?
Oh, in chat.
Alright,
I
this is how stream is going tonight, kids.
I wild shape
Acid hits.
into an octopus in chat.
Say, what kind of spray did you take? I want some.
So, all right, let's dive into something. I don't have anything else we need to say. Everyone roll a d20. Matt, except you. You gave a recap last week. You'll be eligible for a trivia question.
Uh-oh, why is mine frozen?
Mine's running a little bit slow too.
It says rolling the dice.
Mine's
Mine's
crispy.
That came through.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh, goody.
Right,
Oh,
I'm snug,
oh.
right in the middle.
Natural 20 from Fig.
I'll never get another one tonight now.
Yep.
Jesus.
You know what? Golf rules. Cirion, go ahead and give us a recap.
Well, I'm looking to see where my ball landed. While I'm looking to see, I guess I'll give a recap.
Quickly, Kevin, pull out an Uno reverse.
I'm a wild
Reverse.
card. You never know which rules you're gonna bust out.
Reverse.
reverse. Oh God.
No.
I still have PTSD right now, kids. Anyway. Okay, so last time at adventure, we managed to arrive at Kdubs and got greeted by a couple orc friends. One, I don't want to call him like a normal orc, but I just can't think of one right now. So, a normal orc and another one that was kind of had like a steel leg. So they walked us in and they pretty much like paraded us through like Kdubs, kind of like a prisoner walk essentially. We walk in, we get to the center room, and we pretty much take a seat and have a kind of like a welcome feast, if you want to call it that, with fucking food and grog. Fucking grog was a little bit of a disappointment, gave me fucking psychic damage, as all whiskey does, or well, not whiskey, but alcohol. Cheers, by the way. With that, we waited out to see if Mordu would arrive. After a little bit of waiting, a little bit of talking, and we established that we went through Shelob's cave, which everyone was like, what the fuck? Okay. Made it through. They were, I'll call it impressed, and Mordu eventually arrived. With Mordu's arrival, Malvhor pretty much gave the TLDR version of it, saying, "You think you curse a child? Help us out." Mordu wanted a little bit more detail. Malvhor gave it. I almost said Malvhor. Mordu didn't really confirm or deny the curse, really, per se. Just kind of like hinted at it, like, yeah, I might have something to do with that. We basically reached down to an agreement of he wants the head of the Vampire Order taken care of. In exchange for us going to do that and helping with that, he will delay the curse's effects, which was kind of the bare bones of it. As we were making the deal, Tonnel, the vampire, the one that helped us, unfortunately, fortunately, depending on which camp you're in, got captured. And she was basically chained up to the wall, and he basically was going to kill her. Just didn't really see any use for her. So eventually she said something that would basically make her useful. She knew the details of someone that was alive. Vig seems a little bit more about it than we do. So we eventually struck a deal that Tana was gonna, quote unquote, help us and help us along our journey while we go. At that point I was passed out, so I kind of zoned out a little bit there too. But yeah, Cirion passed out from too much grog and too much Mordor. Bad combination for everybody. Came to eventually and learned that we struck that deal, and we tried to begin to set out. Before we did, Malvhor and I were muted for this part. Not muted, but we deafened ourselves. Tano had a long conversation with Vig right before we left. And at that point, she sprouted her wings and flew away. And that is where we left off.
Yeah. That about covers it. You can go ahead and take your inspiration.
Yay!
Sorry, I'm trying to locate something in the books while I'm doing this. Neat. Let's see here. What are our other rolls? We'll go to the opposite end of the spectrum with that natural 20. Natural 20 should be rewarded, I suppose. Fig.
Hi.
When you guys originally entered the Black Citadel of Cirith Ungol, were met by somebody that you weren't expecting, a bit unhinged, lanky orc who paraded himself as the steward of Cirith Ungol in the absence of Mordu. What was that orc's name?
I don't remember.
Chester the orc.
Can she phone a friend and I help?
Do you
You
remember,
already
Kevin?
got inspiration.
I do actually. Boss to say, can I help? So she gets it.
Trying to game the system. The system I completely made up and there's no rules to.
No rules.
I don't. I'm gonna kick myself once I hear it, but yeah, I don't remember. There are too many other things in my brain.
Would you like to use your one and only lifeline for this evening?
Sure.
Who are you? Which friend are you phoning?
If I phone Matt and he gets it right, will he get inspiration too?
Hang on, I need to find a Bugs Bunny gif. No.
I don't know who wants. I guess I'll phone Kevin because he got excited.
I'm not sure excited was the word. It was more helpful. The orc's
Alright.
name?
Yes.
Thula.
Ula.
I knew it was with a T.
Hola!
Get it.
Filling his belly on his master's food when he's away.
Yeah.
Gonna earn an extra band in his head.
Poor guy.
Thula is a little interesting. High charisma for an orc, but you know,
He was very charismatic.
you gotta pepper in some differences every now and again, keep people on their toes. All right. So, with that, we will pick up. Let me switch over to some more region-appropriate music.
It's not uplifting.
Not that. No. I mean,
Cradle.
uplifting's a matter of perspective, honestly.
Cradle of evil.
Yeah, I'd go back to the Black Towers of the Spider Queen, but we determined last week that those weren't coming through audibly. I don't know. Anyway. Alright. So, the three of you have successfully contacted Mordu and apparently struck a deal to help Merwin sustain through this curse, and also in the process discovered that whatever was done to her in that cave by Mordu and his lackeys or whoever wasn't entirely unsuccessful, but it has remained in her system, in her body. So he informed you that if he were to lift this curse, that what was done to her might take hold and kill her that way. So being a rock in a hard place, the deal struck with Mordu is that you will do an errand for him. He will use the curse to essentially sustain Merwin and perhaps even make her feel a little bit better. And then once you conclude this errand successfully, he will give you a name of sorts to where you might be able to find a remedy to actually resolve the physical ailment, but in that time he will lift the curse. With the deal struck and Tanel spared, three of you limp out of Cirith Ungol and set your eyes on a path of your choosing to return and regroup before you set out on this task. So, before we move forward, it is time to begin the return journey. So, I'm going to need the journey rolls for who will be guiding the group back.
I think Vig, aren't you?
I can. I mean, I could. I was the one that was capable of seeing in the in Shelob's lair. Oh, do I happen to? Is there a roll or something I can make to see if, like, since I was able to see and all of that, if I like remember the route at all we took and like would be confident enough in knowing how to get through it again?
I mean, you pretty much guided through it the first time, but you can go ahead and give me a survival check.
Okay.
You can, we'll say at advantage, because quite honestly, it's only probably been a handful of hours at most since you actually went through there.
Oh, okay.
Shelob's just like, oh, you're back.
Yeah. Bitch came back.
Aw, shit. Here we go again.
You didn't stay in Cirith Ungol overnight.
Yeah. Oh, got a 14 though.
14. It's pretty dark in there. And you were relying a bit on Tanel's cues to get through to the quickest and hopefully the quietest way. But you're fairly confident you could probably retrace your steps.
Okay. Then, yeah, if you, I don't care. If you guys want me to guide, I can do that.
Go ahead. Guide away.
you
You
wanna
get a +1 on your stouting roll.
Oh yeah. Do we want to do rope again?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that'd be.
Whose
Good idea.
rope did we use last time? Was it yours, Cirion?
I'm pretty sure it was mine. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I still have rope from my traveling gear, so we can use mine if you want.
Don't
I don't
matter,
know if Malvhor
we
still
could use
has
mine
them.
again. Nothing really happened to it.
Oh. Okay. For some reason, I took it as like used, you know, like an item in a game.
You use the rope
like,
once,
I feel like
toss
it's
it away.
That's fine then. No problem.
What's the durability on this rope? Oh, it's a one-use item.
It has become frayed.
It broke.
Well then, I am happy to do that.
Okay. What roles will be filled in from there? Because you have Lookout, Scout, and Hunter, and whatever role isn't filled, like we determined, somebody else can fill in that role on the journey. If a event comes up for it, rolls will just be made at disadvantage because they're splitting their attention, essentially.
I'll take. I'll take scout, mix it up a little bit.
I'll take a lookout
Okay.
then.
So if anything comes up with Hunter, the party can decide at that point in time who wants to take it.
Worst case, we have rations, I think, still.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right. I just put down partay for Hunter. Okay. At this point, you guys can essentially figure out what route you want to use to return home.
Alright, well, so let me zoom in on this mappy-doo here. Oh,
I should do the same
or
too.
should I... Actually, I probably need that physical map I have, huh? For the... Let me see.
We could either go bonk, or we could go
I
honk.
hit me in the
Yeah,
face.
no.
Huh,
That's
what?
actually pretty. That's pretty close to accurate. That'd be around 270 miles that way.
What if instead we went?
Okay, so Matt apparently never wants to stop playing if we live.
Let's go to that body of water in Mordor. It's probably nice this time of year.
Oh, man.
Where are you looking?
Matt, why do you hate us?
You know what? Wonderful
Oh.
idea. We just start walking east and we never stop.
Alright, so we
Fuck it,
are...
I'm in.
we are hold on we are where'd it go
Oh, at the edge of the map.
You're in the bottom right corner.
we are Nya,
Yeah.
I feel like a
and
mall map.
we gotta get to Nya.
I mean, we got two
Right?
options. We take like the 270-mile journey to the Black Gate and back down, or we brave Shelob's Lair again.
I think for the sake of time
Yeah, Shelob's
we need to
Lair.
brave I think we need to brave the lair again.
Shelob,
rather-
Shelob.
I would rather heal the physical damage potentially lost than go through 270 miles of corruption that just eats our max hit points.
I might just jump off the tower of Kirithungul and call it a day.
We gotta get up there first.
That's
You're
true.
outside the walls.
That's true.
I'll just walk
Plus,
back
we've
in,
been-
be like, guys, don't mind me. Okay, save your sword, save some fighting. I'm just gonna go up and jump.
Yeah, plus we've been so go about this whole mission this whole time. It doesn't make sense to be in the most dangerous place in the world to suddenly be like, nah, take your time, it's fine. We're strolling.
I mean, you could make an argument for the fact that if we believe Mordu's statement that he will sustain Merwin, so we have plenty of time to complete our task.
yeah, but it's still a lot of time versus if we felt like we had
Like,
2 to 3 total to do all of this, we probably would have gone to Greenwood first.
Yeah.
Then instead of
the
Ashen.
the biggest thing for me though is just traveling through Mordor is gonna be almost as deadly as Shelob's Lair. And so it's either worse in something super deadly for a short amount of time, or something just regular deadly for a very long amount of time.
Welcome, audience, to Pick Your Fucked, featuring AdventureCheck.
I
It's
mean,
only-
we already
well, there-
we
I mean, we
Sure.
know we're going back through Shelob's Lair. We're just
yeah, I was gonna say
putting
we
on
had
a show.
we had already picked the super deadly decision again just by choosing to go this route versus north.
Yep.
So...
To put things into perspective for some of you out there, their return route through Shelob's Lair and back through Ithilien would roughly cover maybe 4 to 5 days of journeying. Through Mordor, through the Black Gate, and back down south would cover nearly 3 months.
4 to
Yeah,
5
we could-
days. 90
Yeah, like-
days.
we could actually start leaving for Greenwood after all that in like the next week then versus
What
2
if we
months.
never completed, what if we never did Mordu's task and we just took Merwin up to Greenwood while he was sustaining her, he would probably see with his scrying orb and kill her.
That wouldn't be a horrible idea,
It
though.
would be, because he'll know.
Well, we could just be like, hey, we were just checking other alternative options, you
And
know?
he's
we
gonna be
have
like,
to
here's an
shop
alternative
around
option
before-
for you, dead.
No, we gotta
Slayed.
shop around before we agree to the service, you know?
We already agreed, though.
If you guys are clever and you can find loopholes and stuff, we'll see what happens. I'm
He
not
did
saying
say
it's not
he was
possible.
watching, right?
What?
He did say
I
he was
mean,
watching, right?
like,
Ah.
we have to go to the Greenwood
Well,
to
he
kill
didn't
the.
say it directly.
we
He
have
hinted
to.
at it.
We have to go to the Greenwood to kill the vampire anyway.
Yeah.
That might save. Honestly, this might be the plan. We still kill the vampire, but we bring Merwin up with us. If she's feeling better, she should be able to make the trip, and if she's with the elves when the curse is lifted, maybe the elves can heal whatever is wrong with her.
How would we all feel if we got her to the elves and the elves in excuse me and the elves in Greenwood would just look at her and go, "Oh, I can heal that, no problem." At that point in time, how would
I
the
would
three of
smash my
us
computer.
feel?
I would legit rage quit. I am not kidding.
It's just like a really
be out
funny
the rest of
thought
the
in
night.
my
I would-
head, like, because I always think of what ifs, and that just popped in my head. I was like, oh my god, I don't know.
But I will rage. I will for sure rage.
Oh,
I'll
she's
drive to
no
Alliance and punch
problem.
But I mean, in order to do that, we have to convince
Yeah.
Goldwyn.
I mean, we technically did before minds were changed, so we could do that again, right?
Maybe, but I mean, if
Maybe.
Merwin's feeling better, Goldwyn may be less inclined to let her go because she's like, oh, look, she's feeling better.
True.
Anyway, but I mean,
We'll
this is
see
all a
on
moot
that.
point if Shelob kills us. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's make it through the lair, and if somehow we survive,
Okay, so I think basically pretty much directly backtracking to we had to go around Minas Morgul, right? Obviously we didn't cross through it.
I mean, you don't really go around it. You're north of it the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys stopped and could see it from a distance and went up the mountain before you ever actually got there.
Okay. Then yeah. I think pretty much go that same route back. And did we follow this road that led to Morgul
Yeah.
last time too? Okay, then yeah.
Pretty much.
All right, then I won't.
And
keep
now
repeating
there's
what
no
everyone said.
vampire in the woods.
Hopefully.
Or is there?
Oh, no.
I'm Tanel's sister, Flano.
Flannel, like the shirt.
You
Like
like
the
the
Why do you look like a lumberjack?
shirt.
there's a tree down on you.
Alright.
I like how Brian and I both went like the shirt.
Figured that's what he was going for.
All right, then yeah. Hopefully that's easy enough.
Okie dokie.
Easy.
Well, in that case, Fig, I would like for you to give us an embarkation roll, and you can add +1 to what you roll.
And that is
D12 plus your survival bonus plus half of your wisdom rounded up. Half your wisdom bonus.
Better
mod.
get like a 20.
Not like half your whole wisdom, because if you have a 20, that's +10, and that's...
okay. Well, my wisdom is 0, so +0,
Yep.
and then put the +1.
Can't divide by 0. Oh god, you crashed the game.
I win.
my god.
You've opened the gate of
What?
night. Congratulations.
So the wisdom, survival, and the D12, and then the +1.
Yep. Let's see
7.
what you get 7.
I'm not liking that 3 that you rolled. It's not vibing.
I know. Come on. I'm assuming we're gonna stealth through this too.
If we
Again?
can.
Ideally.
Brian's face, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
And you married him.
Wow. I meant the face he's making, not the face in general, Kevin.
Just like the wow.
Okay.
Boy.
I don't like this at all. There's some long contemplation here.
No. It's good for you guys, DM and storytellers trying to rationalize how it works.
Oh.
Because
We're
right now,
hopeful.
if I read this out word for word, it makes no goddamn sense considering your situation.
Just start with by the grace of the Valar and then read it and it will be fine.
It's like the green
You know what,
glance and
fine.
the
Just
bright
this-
sun.
Just this once. Just this once. I'm gonna read this off word for word in the situation how Lindsay wants it.
Oh.
Moving forward, I'm gonna try and shoehorn shit in here that makes sense.
Oh.
Alright. By the grace of the Valar, perhaps game is plentiful. Herbs, mushrooms, and root vegetables seem to spring up out of nowhere along the company's path, or the cook brought exactly the correct amount of salt and pepper. For whatever reason, the company's meals during this journey are a thing to be anticipated with joy, and to be remembered for days after. Accordingly, all members of the company receive a +1 bonus to all skill checks made during this journey.
I got it. I got your answer. That food was unlike anything else in the most disgusting way that, sorry Fula, that he provided, that our rations just tasted like fucking heaven after that.
There you go. So you were actually refreshed by the orc feast, essentially.
In a roundabout way, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact from last week, because I know 2 of you drank the grog and failed that save. There was a chance for that grog to actually heal you.
I think you mentioned that after.
Fuck.
I think I told you that, Kevin, after where you stop streaming.
Yeah.
Oh.
Locke actually, for the longest time, I think since the initial cave encounter in the first early sessions, has been holding on to orc liquor this whole time that had a chance to heal or do damage depending on the save you make. So I was really hoping we were going to get into a situation where that was the only healing option and somebody fell unconscious. He's like, well, here we go. Because if
That
you
will
took
be
damage
in a
while
few
you're
minutes.
unconscious,
Yeah, dead or
we don't
alive.
have
Dead
the
or
item anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's
Alright.
gonna be in a few minutes and he's not here, so.
yep, nope, he's not. So you all get +1 to all of your checks for this journey.
Hey!
So thanks to the Imparcation roll and apparently the Grace of the Valor.
See the Valar on our side. We're doing something right.
I don't know anymore at this point.
So,
Yeah, you just gotta roll with it.
Dice roll.
Heh.
so following Fig's lead, and probably for the best on many points, she takes lead as the one seeming to be standing up straight the most. Some of you are a little wobbly, a little
That's
bruised,
true.
and a little limpy. Following her lead, you begin the trek back to Osgiliath on the same route that you took to get here. You climb up the mountainside briefly from Cirith Ungol to head back down into the mountain pass, down into a small valley of almost carved out stone stairs into that small landing where you originally exited Shelob's lair and where you saved Tonnel's life, most likely.
We've saved Tonnel's life twice now.
Yup.
She still hates us.
To be fair, she would not have been in either situation if it wasn't for us.
Meh. She could have let us die.
You could have let her die.
Yep.
So
I like
it's
this
a weird
budding
feelings mutual
friendship,
situation.
this mutualism.
This is a weird circle. This is a weird circle of life, kids.
It's because it's a square.
Fig, you,
That is an oval.
Fig, you lead the group to the cavern entrance that you exited from mere hours ago, and you see that familiar seeping dark void where light just ceases to exist from the outside. And you see a few other holes in the rock face that you imagine are probably like hunting holes, spider trap holes, ones that they use to navigate the area. But you've come to the point where you have to re-enter. What would you guys like to do?
I'm just gonna give my companions a quick pep talk, and I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna tell them we have no choice but to succeed here. What we have already done to get here is legendary. Doing it again is unheard of. But if anyone can, we can. And I'm gonna give them both a gift die.
Okay.
Sweet.
With me, then. I'm going to
We
start.
at the cave yet?
Yeah.
You're out,
Okay,
pretty much right
okay.
outside of it.
Okay, I wasn't sure if like we just saw it and we're still walking towards it, or we're like right there.
No,
Okay,
we're right
at that point, I'm gonna get my rope out and everyone hold hands.
All right. Tie each other.
I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. I'm gonna keep my dagger in my hand.
Okay.
And the rope was like an easy loop to slip out of around our wrists, just in case, right? Was that what it was last time?
It was a plan.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Good.
Alright, you guys take a few minutes and anchor yourselves to one another with the rope that you've brought along. It literally got you this far. So we'll see if it can get you back through.
If one of us goes down, just drag the body.
Come on, come on, come on! Alright, yeah, and then once we're all prepared, I will start to slowly step in and lead by stealth.
Okay. One by one, you all step in to the void. Those following just see the one in front of them envelop in darkness until you pass through. It takes you moments for your eyes to sort of readjust. Fig seen just ever so slightly better than the rest of you for the most part. It is a very litless cave interior, and you are met with the familiar sound of that ringing moisture, that very unsettling sound of almost the environment writhing inside itself, and the various
Oh God, that
rustling
sound.
movement.
Ah, dude, sorry. I literally felt like a crawling on my back.
Battle vibes,
Whoa.
everyone.
I was like, you added another track.
That track played the last time you were through here.
Yes, it did.
Just as he was describing it, like it just said that. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Immersion is important.
Okay.
Cirion's like, I quit. Take me back.
You know what? I'm gonna go way back at the tower for you guys. Y'all have fun.
You are met with all these sounds in your ears that almost seem to echo and come from all sides. Yeah, you heard that one just now.
I didn't like that one. I was literally in and out the ear.
I know. That's what freaking
You
out.
you guys were really distracted last time to
I
not
think-
caught all this the first time.
I feel like this time it went like through my brain. Because it was like, whoop. I hate it. Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself so we can continue.
You immediately. There's a hiss. Fig, you look around into this immediate area, pretty much where you were when Tanel intervened and interrupted Shelob's hunt upon you. You give a glance about. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. It's okay, nerves. We're fine. 17.
17. You glance about and you see areas of disturbance where the web has clearly gone through some traumatic event. You determine it was probably the initial fight between Tanel and Shelob. There doesn't seem to have been much done in repairs as of yet, but you are pretty sure you don't see any signs of Her Majesty in the immediate vicinity. I need everybody to go ahead and give me their stealth checks. Malvhor is still exhausted.
What's the gift die again, Matt?
Also,
just in case.
That would have been an 18, by the way. Because
was
the
an
+1 on
18.
all skill checks.
That's
DM.
right.
Do I still have advantage on
The gift
these
die.
rolls?
This is a new journey.
The gift die is a 1d8 for those who are wondering.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm
Thank
probably
you.
gonna need that.
That's
Ooh,
a
maybe
6.
not. That is an 18, kids.
I mean, you could still spend it to bring your total up if he averages out stealth checks.
I'm gonna use inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that D8.
I'm gonna use the D8.
Okay.
So that's
It didn't matter. So I
And now
got
I'm at a
19.
19.
Lindsay, you just got viewer inspiration, by the way.
I'm gonna add that for funsies. Thank you. Cause why not?
Smoke
What
if
is-
you got them, guys.
What is it? 1d4.
that's it. I can't inspire
Mhm.
myself. I'm stuck with a 6.
Yeah.
There. 21.
All right.
To try to help offset the 6, maybe.
21, 6, and
19.
19. All right.
Do some math. The DC was 30. You all fail anyway.
You die.
Nope. This was a group check. So
Up those averages up.
you saved that 6 there.
That was my whole plan. I'm like, I'm gonna suck. Let me give 2 gift die away to offset my suckiness.
And you got viewer inspiration.
Fig.
Too.
Oh, yep. Malvhor just got viewer inspiration too.
Okay. Fig, you tug your group along and you try to make some semblance of a quiet haste, knowing that you don't want to be in here any longer than you have to. And you're pretty confident you know the route back, so you can circumnavigate the whole interior as quickly as you'd like. You traverse up, back, sort of like an incline going back up and around, and in the small tunnel-like interior that is probably about 3 to 3.5 feet wide that you came through before. It's very hard to stretch out, and the ceiling itself, you're almost crawling through this section as you're slow moving through the web-like interior. You come to the next opening as you pass. Fig, this is mostly from your perspective because you're the only one who can really see for the most part.
Yeah.
You pass by a large whitish gray silky egg sac that as you walk past you see it shift and you see pushing coming from the inside, just ever so slightly, just pushing and writhing.
Does it look new?
No, you passed these on the way through the first time.
Oh, so it was already present.
Yeah, you
Okay.
passed several eggs on your way through the first time, but
Okay.
maybe in the chaos of coming through here the first time, you didn't notice any sort of movement coming from it. In a slightly more calm demeanor this time, you do notice that it is moving. You pull your group further in to about the halfway point. You all take 2 psychic damage.
Ooh.
I, as we're passing, since I noticed that egg sat writhing and everything, I would have hesitated for just a split second, debating on what to do, but I would have turned my head with a solemn frown, and with my free hand grab my, bear-tooth necklace and just mutter, I am sorry, I hope you find peace in the next life.
Think you all right?
Don't worry about it.
As you finish that bit of a prayer, if you will, and begin to move on, you feel your right arm tug backwards.
Partially, or is it the same?
The same as it's been, just back in the direction you're coming from, roughly.
Backwards.
In this cave system, you're pretty turned around. You don't know where your cardinal directions are quite yet.
Okay.
So it's hard to tell. Say, you can go ahead and give me a nature or a survival check to try and gauge it.
Sure. Yeah.
As you're walking, it is in a backwards direction for you.
Yeah.
That's a 5.
Yeah. You're inside a mountain with no source of light for the most part. You have no real sense of where north and south are. You only get the sense of direct back for the most part.
Cool. So funny enough, you hear the little prayer from Fig, and then 2 seconds later you hear a minor grunt.
Now, it's really interesting from our perspective, because we just see darkness, and we just hear Fig, like, going, oh, God.
He's like, motherfucker.
Cirion and Malvhor, during the course of this entire journey through this cave, are having the worst ASMR experience.
Yeah, because we can't even see, like, the egg sacs or any of the webbing.
I'm legally blind.
You're only hearing this ringing moisture and moving and rustling and hoping that you're just getting tugged in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's a real surreal feeling to probably be in.
Yeah, so I'll grunt just ever so slightly and then just, like, keep trudging forward.
Yeah. You eventually come to the area where you first saw Shelob hanging from the ceiling. And this time you see her sitting sort of dead center of the room.
Oh, good.
For the most part. As you sort of hug the wall and shift off to the right and move a bit. And what you do find interesting this time is you see the large spider creature sitting ever so still. And her legs are pulled into her body for the most part, also almost like curled up and close. And you see the back end, the large bulbous back end of hers rise and fall very slowly.
I will say very quietly. She is in this room. She's asleep.
I mean, you don't have to tell us. You can just keep walking.
I will keep walking, but I'm letting you know. Be extra quiet. I will punch you in the face.
Jesus Christ.
If I sneeze at this moment, can I get DM's inspiration?
No, we get death by
Why
spider.
You hate us.
I'll answer your question with another question.
Just
Is
answer.
TM's inspiration worth it?
No. I'm just being chaotic.
You guys move along with Fig's guidance. I need everybody to make corruption saving throws.
Bada bing, bada. Oh, do I have it? I
Did
don't
you say
have...
we took psychic damage earlier?
Yes, two.
Oh, 2. Okay, I never did that. Thank you. I think that was
Fuck
when I was
me.
rolling something.
Burning
Corruption
inspiration.
save.
I don't think.
Corruption save.
Oh, fuck me!
Actually...
I'm blind.
Oh, I do
Where
not
is it?
have
Oh, fuck
disadvantage on saves.
Oh, I see it. I'm sorry. Oh, jeez.
Oh, I accidentally rolled twice.
Oh.
I'm not having a good time right now.
Whoa. Not a single one
Oh.
above 10. Yeah, all... Oh, those aren't skill checks, so... Okay. 8, 5, and 5. You all take 1 shadow point. As just the sheer oppressive feeling of being in here close to some creature of malice in shadow. There's just something about this den that, even though 2 of you can't even see it, is affecting you mentally to the point where you have this urge to just almost panic and run to try and get out and through as quickly as you can, and it takes everything in you to remain calm and trust that you can take this slowly. But you all do take 1 shadow damage, or shadow point, not damage, as you follow Fig through the main entrance, or through the main area where you originally came through, that branched off like roots through the tunnels, and eventually converged back to that main entry point. And by the time you guys exit, you do take 1 more psychic damage.
Okay.
Fuck, dude.
Are you just rolling low, or did you nerf the psychic damage?
I have a screenshot, hang on.
Surprised we didn't lose any max hit points from that.
I rolled shit damage, a 2 and a 1.
Oh wow.
The only nerfing I did is, since you guys were following the same path and kind of pretty much knew what you were doing based on Fig's original survival check, you weren't in there for as long, so you weren't exposed to that feeling and oppressive nature. So whereas I think going through, you had it happen 4 times, so you got through it quicker this time. So.
Chat's trying to give you viewer inspiration.
No, those are for the PCs.
I was gonna say,
I will-
chat, why
I
do you
will-
hate us too?
I will refund that last one.
No, chat.
Fuck we do to y'all.
The reason you can't give the DM things is because you can't see what I'm rolling. I can be making shit up. If I want to hit, I'll hit. Don't worry about me. Like,
If I
let's
want to
be
drop
honest
rocks
here.
on the party, I'll drop rocks on the party.
Yeah. No more Grace of Valor. Poof, everyone's dead.
Don't worry about me.
Okay.
We should start a cult that worships Shelob.
I'm gonna politely ask you to shut the fuck up.
All right. But you guys exit out the other side, and as you come through to that little lip of a landing on the rock face, you weren't holding your breath, but as you come through, you almost feel yourselves taking a deep breath of air, like almost you were holding it the whole time through there, through the silence and through the stress of the situation. But you do exit into the peaks of the mountain that have this dark grayish like palette among the clouds, still unable to see the sunlight from where you are, and the wind gusts itself almost give you a slight nip of chill air against your skin.
Well,
Now, following Fig's lead,
now we must climb down.
you untether yourselves from one another, I assume,
Yes.
and walk over towards
Can I stay
the
tethered
edge.
to you, Fig?
Sure.
In case I fall.
Looks like a 6-year-old in the mall with his parents.
Malvhor's on a
Oh,
leash. Hold me back, Fig! Hold me back!
Hold this! Let me at him! Let me at him!
On the lay.
Do you
So-
want to be tied at the waist then? This time?
Sure. Whatever you think safest.
That is fine by me. And I'll undo the wrist knot and I'll tie around my waist and I'll take his knot, tie around his waist, look at Cirion if he wants to join.
Yeah, Cirion's good.
It's kind of like Cirion just kind of goes.
Now here's the thing: if two people fall,
Okay.
the third is falling too.
You know, in that case,
Yeah.
I got one gravity issue here, so I'll just, if I'm gonna go see the Valar, I might as well, not be tethered.
No, what happens is that whoever's in the middle stays hanging on. The bottom and the top let go, and then they fall and they collide into each other because the middle remains anchored.
It is like the pendulum.
Wee,
Yeah.
bong, 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 bong.
All right,
All right.
so 2 of you remain tethered around the hip this time as you are doing the buddy system of rock climbing.
I need a Malvhor
I'll
needs
let-
a buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cirion can go whenever he wants, but I will let Malvhor go before me, so in case if he falls, I can just grip and still...
Yeah, if
Keep
I go first,
myself.
I fall a shorter distance. If you go first, I'll fall to
Exactly, yeah.
you, then pass you.
Someone's gonna get fucked at one of those points, but at least if you fall a shorter distance, I've got the strength, I think. I can do it. I'll just grip. Rock climbing.
Gains.
Homebrew elven bungee cords. Alright. I'll say, for the purposes
Boots of
this,
spider climbing?
with the I don't know if you guys want anything to do with spiders right now.
Oh.
I think for the purposes of this, with the 2 of you tethered to one another, I will give you both advantage as you are helping each other. Like if one falls, they're able to catch each other for the most part and keep everyone sort of stabilized. So Malvhor, you get a straight roll. Fig, you can roll at advantage. So everybody give me athletics checks.
Syrian,
Unless you want to be creative and argue with me that you can use acrobatics to parkour your way down this.
Syrian,
Hell no.
you are powerful. You are a captain of men, and a cliff will not defeat you. Take your gift die.
Yay. Thank you. Ooh.
I don't think you need it, but there you go.
That's we're okay for right now. Keep that gift die in reserve. Hopefully.
A 12, which could be worse.
Oh, so I got a 24. I forgot about the +1.
The 12, 24, big, and
You do have advantage, Fig.
$18.
Sorry, I was typing in chat because I was
I see that.
clarifying inspo.
Yeah, I don't know who still has
I have one.
Yeah,
Your
and
inspiration.
now I
I
have
can
one.
probably pop it.
Thank you guys for using that, by the way. You're
You know what?
helping them out.
I'll pop it.
Kdubs
Ooh,
me.
that's a
Hey!
16!
Ah.
13 was the DC.
I went from missing it by 1 to just shooting past it.
Yeah. You guys take a few hours and get down pretty much to that halfway point that you did the first time. Take a few moments, rest a bit, let your muscles and your mind sort of get their feelings back as you get further and further away from the darkness that was top side of the mountains. After a while, maybe you stop for some rations that are just the goddamn best thing you've ever had, apparently. And
Stale bread.
yeah, and then begin your trek and slow, methodical climb until you get to the point where the climb ceases and the stairs begin again, as you can take down almost at a severe angle of shallow steps that are probably about that wide initially. So you're almost walking down sideways 1 foot at a time until they begin to sprawl out and get a little bit better of a foothold. And it's around the point of nightfall that you get your feet back onto sea level, and you can see Minas Morgul in the distance.
I'll
Well.
untie the rope.
Thank you, Fig. That went much better than last time.
The hardest part is over now, it seems.
Osgiliath is that way, I think. Let's just start walking. I'm so exhausted.
Do you need carried?
I appreciate the offer, and maybe one day I'll take you up on it.
I've already carried you once before.
I remember. I can walk.
Okay. I will continue leading.
Okay. Finally being back down at the base of the mountains, the Malvhor, you find purchase on a well-traversed road built by the men of Gondor and the sons of Numenor that lead through this forest of Ithilien and between Minas Morgul and Osgiliath. Some of you pay no mind and can easily traverse that road and head back into the forest proper of Ithilien. Cirion, though, you feel that small, looming tug behind you, the city that was once known as Minas Ithil. But with Fig leading the way, you guys break into the forest proper, and beneath the tree canopy, and you hear the chirps of various creatures, and you're brought to us. You're brought.
Green!
Animals that aren't truck-sized with 8 legs.
Yeah, let's get the lush forest day in here. That's a better sound. That's not rustling and writhing, right?
Yeah, happy first day of spring, guys.
Look at that.
Which was yesterday, but whatever.
Yep.
Close enough.
Over the next 3 to 4 days, you guys follow the roads through Ithilien, keeping your eyes out where you can. But after a while, you get closer and closer to civilization, or some semblance thereof. Osgiliath isn't much of a civilization, or at least not a beacon of one, as it might have used to be. But in a rundown city like that, one that has casted you out as enemies at one point, and has even probably forced many of its own people away, is now a sight to behold and welcoming you all back.
Yeah, I don't care. It's freaking Numenor at this rate. I'll kiss the ground.
Hallelujah!
We made it!
Now, eventually we gotta go back to Kirithungul.
Shush, shush, shush.
Not
Be quiet.
worried about
We're
that
not
right
talking
now.
about that right now.
But you guys have all arrived through the gates of Osgiliath on the eastern side.
What time of day is it now?
So this is probably about the 5th day on the road since departing from Kirithungul. So we can say you probably arrive late morning.
Okay,
Does that work?
that's fine.
Okay.
I'm just happy we made it right now.
Yeah. I I need a rest.
God.
I need a
Dude,
break.
the last few streams felt like ages of just like, oh my god.
Let's there are a couple people here in town I do want to talk to.
Same, but do we want to talk to them first or do we want to rest?
I say rest first.
So, I know that there's been chat and discussion over the last week. I have never heard any hard confirmation of what you guys planned or intended to do, but I know whispered on the winds that there was going to be a fellowship phase. Is that something we're looking to do?
Yeah, I think we decided we're short fellowship phase is in order.
Okay, then
Yeah.
I'm going to save you guys a little bit of a headache of figuring out what to do and then getting yourselves bitten in the ass. As soon as you guys enter the gates of Osgiliath, we'll say your fellowship phase starts. So all of you can essentially take the benefits of a long rest.
Ooh.
I just fall to the ground.
Rules as written, fellowship phases, unless you're under very certain conditions, you will heal you'll get all your hit dice back. You'll get your all your hit points back, and pretty much the benefits of long rest. Those of you afflicted by corruption. So if you made a corruption save and failed, and I told you to roll a hit dice and then take that off your ceiling, that does not heal back. That hit dice is still gone. And that hit point ceiling is still reduced by what you rolled. If you lost your hit point ceiling from a vampire, that has been restored.
Oh!
Kevin had 2 reductions.
I haven't got fucked, dude.
So,
Okay.
fellowship phase, for those of you that don't know out there, this will probably be the last time I say this, because I feel like every time I do this for the sake of the audience, go back and watch your old shit. You'll figure it out. But I'm gonna be nice to you, alright? Be happy. This is an opportunity for the players to control their narrative. They get to tell the DM what they're doing and how things go. I might intervene with checks and roleplay where necessary, but for the most part, they get to control things from here on out. So in your guys' case, fellowship phase starts. So don't think about it as like, it's only a day, it's only this. You get to take one undertaking, which will be what you do through the course of the time, but you do other things. You still have a life. There's 24 hours in a day, so you're not doing one undertaking the entire time. So say you have somebody does an undertaking, they do that for a day, and before you guys leave, you're doing your other errands and stuff. You're going to meet with whoever, discuss a few things, and get ready. So it's just pretty much normal week, normal day. However long it lasts is up to you guys, but you are getting one undertaking out of the deal, if you will.
So what happens now then if it technically started now, but one or some of us were planning on the undertaking being in Pelargir?
So in the books, if you guys, I believe I blasted you all with the information over the weekend. But the Fellowship decides whether they stick together or they separate. If they separate, that's completely okay. The rule is that if you are departing, you can only travel back to somewhere that you've previously been to, for the most part, within reason. Like if somebody has been to Rivendell and you guys are over here like, I'm going to Rivendell, it's like, well, you all better be in agreement on how long this lasts, because they're not coming back for a long ass time, sort of situation. So if those of you are going to depart for Pelargir instead, that's fine. That's where they go. That's where they do their undertaking. So if they got business in different places, but they can travel between the two, perfectly fine.
Okay.
All good?
All good.
I think so. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I'll hand it over to you guys from here. You can do it in anything in any order you essentially want. So you guys just arrived in Osgiliath. I only wanted to start the fellowship phase so I could get you guys back to where, get the benefits of it starting. We can handle undertakings later on once you guys get through what the things you would probably wanted initially to do. So
Yeah.
back to you.
Do we talk to peeps now then, friends? Or
Yeah. I know you said you had a couple people you wanted to talk to.
I think it might behoove us to check in at least with Turgon and Baldur, to see if they decoded the message at this point. It might give us some leads.
I think that'd be a good idea to start there first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I will. Cirion, you guys can lead the way. Fig barely knows them.
Malvhor will lead
start.
the way.
Okay, Cirion will kind of just twiddle his thumbs in the back and...
Ah, kid, you're with me. You're my hype man.
Goody.
Well, I could be your hype man, I guess. That might make more sense.
Hey, you're the one with the silver tongue in our group.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, so
off to Turgons.
Back to the barracks.
Oh.
all right, you guys trek through the stone streets of Osgiliath, across the bridge that gaps the east and west sides of Osgiliath, and goes over the Anduin to get over to Isildur's Bastion, the barracks here of the Gondorian Guard that are essentially responsible for the safety and well-being of Osgiliath, up to interpretation on if they've been doing a good job. You guys go through the main gates. You see several in the muster fields, either training, running drill, what have you. And you head on up towards the officers' quarters and come to a closed door of Captain Turgon's.
Ugh. Knock, 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 knock.
And
Sounds just as excited as before.
Captain Turgon, glad to see you pretty much in the same spot I left you.
as he's like staring down at the desk, it's very rarely I get to leave this desk these days, and oh my god.
You need to talk.
There's probably
You
a
all
big
look like you
waft
need
of
a nap.
stench.
Yeah, several days probably worth of a nap.
Yeah.
More Kirathungul, not a good place. I mean,
Kdubs.
I knew it was a bad place going there, but it was surprisingly productive.
Sorry we didn't send you a letter from there, sir.
I'll forgive the transgression.
Well, quick update. The vampire that attacked Osgiliath and that lives in the forest is going to be not a problem for a while. They've moved to the Greenwood for a time, so...
Well, that's reassuring for us, I suppose. Less that we have to deal with for now.
And, I mean, I guess that's the biggest update that concerns you on our end. Have you had any luck deciphering the message we recovered last time we came through?
I believe Baldur's individuals had some luck. Let me check. He goes over to the window and you see him sort of like scan the muster field. Hey, Talon. Hi, sir. Dispatcher runner, get Baldur up here. Very well, sir. Couple of minutes pass, and the ranger known as Baldur comes up as he's wiping the side of his face, looking to get some, like, dirt or something off of a scrummy looking cloth, as he's just getting the bow pretty much set onto his back. Hi, sir. What can I do for you? Baldur, I believe this group here was interested to hear any news that you might have had on the correspondence that they recovered from the cat's eye. All right. Let's see here. As he goes into his leather pouch on his side and pulls out 2 pieces of parchment, hands over one to whoever's gonna grab it.
I'll take it.
That was the original one, alright? A whole lot of gibberish nonsense.
Looks like it.
This, as he holds it out.
I'll take the other one and like compare it like in both hands. These two can like lean over my shoulders, I guess. Just want to try and hold Bardor's hand. No, I'm kidding.
We all want to hold Bardol's hand.
That one's the decoded one. So there was a lot of unnecessary gibberish in their coding system. So the message we pulled out of it's not near as long as what they wrote, but probably a little more valuable to us in this form. You can read it for yourself.
Read it.
Oh. It's long.
Oh boy.
Three of the Someone want to read it out loud for the audience, or
Yeah, I can
You
read
want
it.
me to? I was like, I can do it.
I don't care
for it.
either way.
Evan,
So the first
read.
I was gonna say, okay, so we observed the three of the brood arrives safely into the Morgul Vale. We dare not venture further uninvited, but we have it on good authority the cages will hold the beasts well within the fortress. Whatever comes of it from here is outside of our control and for the best. I don't care to come close to one of the beasts again for as long as I live. We've been told the master of the fortress will extend his thanks to Harakir? Is that how you say that name? I keep forgetting.
Sure.
Okay, Harakir for providing the beats, and that our payment for facilitating to arrangement has been sent along the Harid Road. Next paragraph is our bureau's coin should have arrived in Umbar, so the ones there should be able to contract the Hellion. Oh shit! Anyway, sorry. That wasn't on the note. Some Gondorian agents have departed for Umbar recently and should arrive in the next few months as well. We believe the emissary and their company are meant to be a form of ambassador in an attempt to gain influence back over Umbar. We were unable to obtain the names of the traveling members, but we can tell you their number. Oh, I really don't like the looks of this. One older male, grayed-haired, brown beard with specks of gray. This individually seems to be some renowned house in Gondor, may very well be acting as the ambassador. 2 guard attached to the older male. One younger male, very charismatic individual, fancies himself a troubadour or bard of sorts. 3 servants, 6 regular soldiers, assumed to be additional guard. That's in the letter.
There were 2 typos in there that I corrected as you went. That's
okay.
just on me for typing.
Thanks for the sick beats.
I saw
Yeah,
beats.
that's supposed to be beasts
Yeah.
in the
Beast.
individually is
Okay.
individual.
I want to make sure I read that right, but I was like,
You read it as written. That was my mistake.
okay,
But yeah,
good.
so
Got the beats. Come on down, homie.
This confirms what we learned in Cirith Ungol, that Mordor is the orcs are working with the cat's eye.
Not entirely surprising. The cat's eye for some time were just information brokers, worked with pretty much whoever was willing to pay. After a while, on whatever moral high ground Gondor wanted to be on, especially in the way we left Umbar, they ceased to probably do business with us and had more of a vendetta. So, the enemy of my enemy and all that.
And that's another time we saw the Hellion brought up.
Yeah.
Starting to turn from myth into actuality.
you see Turgon sort of lean back in his chair. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Bardor, could you care to enlighten us?
The Hellion was an individual some decades ago that reaped havoc throughout Umbar and across the borders of Gondor. They were named the the Haradrim Hellion, the Hellion of Haradrim, I don't fucking know. But basically, they were somebody who didn't like us, and they made a point to prove it. As Umbar went to all shit, and we began to pull out, several of the rangers that were stationed there sought a task to find the Hellion and end them. We have it on good authority that back then the Hellion was killed. Odds are this is either a copycat, somebody with a vendetta, and somebody who just decided to take up the mantle. I don't believe this to be the same Hellion that we're dealing with now.
All that's better to know. When I asked about the Hellion before to knowledgeable people, they just chalked it up to a myth, an old legend.
They were something out of a legend, that's for sure. Came and went as they pleased, hard to track, hard to spot, and were deadly accurate. They doubled as an assassin, a guide, pretty much anyone who found use of their services, and at the time were probably the privateers and the corsairs who really wanted to uprise against us. And Harad has always been one to not be so kind to us, and quite honestly, the feeling's mutual. So odds are, one of the chiefdoms of Harad were probably funding the Hellion, and they were inserted into Umbar to try and wreak havoc to their benefit and to our disadvantage. Hard to say if that's what's going on here now, but as of what we can tell, there's a new Hellion on the shores. And as of now, they seem to be causing a little bit more trouble. Though, based on this letter, it seems like they're trying to buy them off. Hire them as a mercenary.
Well,
Whether that's going to be against us, which we can probably safely assume is.
we can't
Or they're
have...
settling some turf issues on their end. Maybe there's some problems with the Corsairs that's not working quite out with the Cat's Eye.
Sounds to me, regardless, and I knew this before, the Hellion would be a dangerous enemy to have.
Well, unfortunately, we
Morgul
don't have enough
Vale.
information. Yeah.
Where is that?
We've walked through it.
Oh, we did.
It's been a term that's been getting coined in the last few weeks, ever since Minas Ithil. Minas Ithil's been formally, well, informally, referred to as Minas Morgul. The Ithilien, otherwise known as the Valley of the Moon, has always acted as a bit of a veil between us and Mordor. And now with Ithil being known as Morgul, the enemy sees to twist the knife a bit in the wound and start renaming our forest as well.
Hmm.
The one thing I'm not sure about is he looks towards Turgon. Who the hell are we sending down there? Ambassadors? It's above my pay grade, Bardor. Sounds like they're walking into some trouble. I'm inclined to agree, but we don't have enough information of when they are, when they're leaving, who it is, and how best to proceed.
I'll look at Malvhor and Cirion and just kind of ask, did Rador say he was going there? I don't remember.
A lot has happened in the last
No.
couple days. I don't remember myself.
I don't think Radl ever said he was going there. Radl said
Have
he
you
had
two seen or heard of Rador recently?
I saw him last time we were in Pelagia.
Yeah.
I was looking at
Oh.
Turgon and Bardor. I mean, good to know, but
We haven't heard from him in a while. He hasn't passed through here. At least, if he has, he hasn't made his presence known.
Last I knew, he
Interesting.
was going to be operating out of Pelagear for a time.
Yeah,
we
he's
can ask.
not on my list of an individual to keep tabs on.
I just figured a high-up individual would at least be seen, but was wishful thinking.
He
Not in
could
the way he
be
likes to
the-
travel.
Oh.
Well, eventually
Nice.
we'll have to follow up on this cat's eye business. We have some more... We have other tasks to see to first, however. We appreciate the update, though.
You're welcome. If you come across anything else that you think might be valuable to us, let us know.
If you see us again, it's gonna probably be after we killed some vampires, so...
Well, far be it for us to stop you from doing that. But hearing that news, I hope we do see you again.
Watch out for cats.
Bring you a vampire head as a souvenir. You can mount it. I'll kind of like point a general direction on his wall, like with some space. Like you can mount it up over there.
That would really bring the room together.
Yeah, if we're gonna be stuck here, might as well make it enjoyable.
Is there anything else you need of me?
No, I believe that's it, unless
Phone number.
any of you...
What's a phone?
I said watch out for cats.
No,
Oh, we've been
Cirion,
wrangling them up.
Cirion, here's how you do this. Yeah, you know, we could get the lunch bar door.
He shifts his body towards Turgon.
Sir.
And just walks out.
It wasn't a no.
It wasn't a no. Yeah, exactly. Well, we won't clog up your office anymore, Captain Turgon.
Very well, gentlemen and lady. Have of whatever Osgiliath has to offer. At least while you can.
I'm gonna look at Malvhor. It's like,
Appreciate it.
oh, I intend to.
And Malvhor leaves, yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
I know Malvhor is gonna head over to the houses of healing.
I will be doing the same.
I'll follow. I'll just wait outside.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for more cats.
Alright. You guys head over back to the other side of Osgiliath and come to the familiar incense-filled, smoky, light haze interior. That's really loud. Didn't mean to turn it up that high. Of the houses of healing. What would you like to... Browser, why? There we go. What would you like to do while you're here?
I'm looking for Mana Ame.
Yeah, she's around. She's pretty to find. Luckily, a slow day for them. There doesn't seem to be a influx of wounded and sick that need attending to.
Mana
My
Ame.
friends. Yes, what brings you here?
Well, frankly, a rather large request. I know you're busy here. I look over the corner, usually. But you are, frankly, the most skilled healer I know. And I would be remiss if I did not petition you for your aid to help a dying child.
I'm inclined to ask what this is all about. The three of you look like you've been through Mordor and back.
Funny you say that.
About that.
Let's just say, yeah, I mean, Cirith Ungol is not a pleasant place.
I see.
But the child is not in Cirith Ungol. The child is in Pelagia. And, she's the daughter of the Horsemaster there. She is diseased and cursed. We are in the process of lifting the curse. But the problem is, once the curse is lifted, the disease may still claim her. And my request to you is to travel to Pelagia and have a look at her and aid her in any way you can. Ultimately, we may decide to take her up to the Greenwood if she's healthy enough for the journey, but in the grand scheme of things, you're almost next door.
I am. That is relatively close. It is a difficult ask, as I have a lot of responsibilities here. You fear that whatever underlying sickness may claim her as you lift this curse. When do you imagine that this might happen?
Well, I don't know the time frame of it all precisely, but we must already travel up to the Greenwood to slay a vampire in order to lift the curse. And once it's lifted, that won't do anything for the disease. And if either by some miracle you can cure the disease, or the elves in the Greenwood can, then, well, that would be ultimately the best outcome.
There is a renowned healer in the Greenwood, far grander than I. I came across her a few times by the name of Baruthiel.
Oh shit!
What?
Ruthiel, sorry.
Baruthiel.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like,
I couldn't quite tell if there was like a little another syllable in front of that or not.
yeah, that's why yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Where in the Greenwood is Baruthiel?
She could be as far north as the Elven King's Hall. Or she could be residing in Amon Lonk. It's hard to say. She does move around the forest a bit, and I haven't been there in quite some time.
Well, if we end up bringing the child north to the Greenwood, I imagine we can stop by here, and you can look at her yourself while we're in the area, so to speak.
By all means, if you bring her through here, I can definitely keep an eye on her. If you don't wish to trek her any further than Osgiliath, I may be able to find time to make my way down to Pelagia, or at least send one of my aides along and see what we can do.
Anything you can do would be appreciated.
Our supplies are low, unfortunately. I'm still waiting on a particular shipment. I fear that the elves of Greenwood may have encountered some trouble.
But we're going up that way anyway. Perhaps we'll recover your supplies as well.
If you come across Lachion, then by all means, you can definitely inquire. He's a captain down in Amon Lonk. If you can't find him, you can find his son.
What's his son's name?
I can't quite remember. It's been a few centuries since I've seen him, and at the time he was very small. I imagine he's grown by now.
Well,
I'm sure if you ask around for the son of Lachion, you'll find it.
yeah. People in the area would know.
The elves of the Greenwood are very close. Everyone knows everyone, sort of thing. Very similar to Lorien and Rivendell.
Great elven kingdoms.
They used to be. Rumor comes that the Greenwood is not faring so well these days.
Well, maybe once we deal with the vampires there, it'll brighten the wood a little bit.
One can only hope. But I can see what I can do. I can't promise that I can travel down to Pelagir quite often. But if you intend to bring it to the Greenwood, I suppose that would be my best recommendation, as they have one of the finer healings this side of the mountains. Otherwise, I would suggest taking her straight to Rivendell, but that's a closely guarded secret.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me nonetheless. And like I said, anything you can do will be appreciated.
I'll do what I can. The three of you have done plenty for me, and though my responsibilities bind me here, it is in my good honor to try and extend a thanks where I can, however I can.
Well, I need to take a long nap. I am drained on an existential level.
You all look like you're barely standing, so I encourage you to go find somewhere to rest. One of our cots here could work just as well, quite honestly.
Honestly, Lady Maniame, I may take you up on that. Ever since Kirithungol, I have not felt right.
Well, we'll see what we can do for you, but you can lay down and we can talk and see what you need.
Perfect. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No. No, thank you.
Get some rest, my friends.
And that's everyone Malvhor wanted to talk to.
Big will, when they get back outside and she's by the doorway, she'll just be like, I think a bath is a good idea.
You gonna sneak out of the city again, Fig?
No?
I was just... Don't worry about it.
I thought the bathhouse might be a helpful I'm confused.
We escaped through the baths once before. I was just making a reference to that. It was a callback. It's a thing in Don't worry about it.
I thought that was the sewer. Oh.
What do you think the...
Never mind. I get it.
It's, yes,
City.
it's... But a bath would sound lovely.
I'm gonna try and heal up, and then I will go take a bath myself also.
I mean, honestly, my fellowship undertaking is going to be heal corruption.
That's mine. That's what I'm doing here.
Mine was going to be in
like that.
Mine was going to be in Pelargir, so I'm just doing
Bye-bye.
narrative. I guess I was going to do some narrative fun until it seemed timely enough to go and come back.
Alright, well, you guys finish talking with Mana Ame and determine what to do next, and take essentially the day to sort of reprieve and rest your body and mind before going on any endeavor for a bit. That's where we're gonna take a break, and we'll cover everyone's undertakings when we get back. All right, so don't go anywhere.
Oh boy!
Salutations, listeners. My name is Professor Benjamin O'Toole of the Waterdeep University and Arcane Institute. I'm known for being an educator, philanthropist, gentleman, adventurer, researcher, and now a conservationist. I wish to express my concern as of late in regards to the dwindling population of the majestic owlbear. These beautiful creatures are all too often poached and hunted by so-called adventuring parties for resources like hides, arcane focuses, foci, and experience. Here at the O'Toole Owlbear Conservation, we are making a difference with our foster and breeding programs by taking in orphaned cubs? No, chicks. Juvenile owlbears. Our volunteers work closely with the owlbears in our care until they are of age and suitable for the reintroduction to the wild. Without our, and potentially your, intervention in this matter, owlbears could very well disappear from our forests. So, how can you help us in our effort in preserving the Aves mammalia? You can get involved in this effort by symbolically adopting one of our owlbear juveniles. Your donation will go straight to their support and care. Take a tour of our facilities and read our various literatures to educate yourself on this wonderful creature. Write to the lord or lady of your land and encourage policies that protect such wildlife. Learn Druidic magic and swear to the safeguard of the wilds and all the creatures that live inside of it, vowing to the defense against the brutal adventuring parties who go hunting for these gentle creatures in such a barbaric manner. And in that vow, you follow an ancient Druidic path that eventually leads you to the spirit of the forest, and they bestow upon you the power to take back the lands that once belonged to the beast and the bird that roam upon this realm. Recycle. Please help us in this noble effort. For more information, please direct all correspondence via a sending spell to the Office of Conservation at the O'Toole Owlbear Conservation. For inquiries regarding my research, Adventuring Days, my latest publication, speaking opportunities, private lessons, book club, and knitting circle, please forward your sending spell to the Office of Sir Benjamin O'Toole of the Waterdeep University and Arcane Institute. The O'Toole Conservation name, logo, and image are all protected licensure and owned by O'Toole Philanthropy. Use of this without the express written consent of Sir Benjamin O'Toole could result in legal action, a failed death save, a gentleman's acknowledgement of a worthy adversary for being outfoxed, and or loss of consortium. Side effects of Druidic magic can include uncontrollable vine growth, sun fascination of fungi, inability to revert from wild shape, body odor, an acquired taste for good berries, splinters, tanking for the party, depression, and or becoming one with the elements. The O'Toole Conservation is not responsible for anyone being maimed, eaten, killed, or disfigured by anyone attempting to approach owlbears. Please do not contact our officers with liability claims. We will cast silence. We mean it. Casting and speaking with animals within our facilities is strictly prohibited except by authorized personnel. We will take legal action.
Ooh, I'm a bear, I'm a bear, I'm a bear, I'm a bear. I'm a bear, I'm a bear, I'm a bear, I'm a bear.
Haste.
I'm a bear.
Pack. We need
Rise.
to leave.
I'm a bear, I'm a bear, I'm a bear. Look at me bearing around.
Burn! And latch onto you. You take 5 shadow damage.
This is not the hug I wanted. Alright, let's make attacks at him.
Roll them dice.
You missed my birthday, bitch?
Probably go up on sale tomorrow. My donut! I got it. I lost it. I dropped my donut.
Talks amongst yourselves.
Yeah, so I think
Are we there yet?
that way might work.
Are we there yet?
Kevin, you're fired.
Don't have us talk amongst ourselves then.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a role-playing game.
Said the thespian.
Meh. Oh no.
In Lindsayisms.
Audience meh? Chat meh? Oh my god.
I need to stop doing things on stream. Adventure. Just like that. Health back. Go back. How is everyone? I'm doing. Why are they back?
You hear something.
Thank God I am half in the tank.
I shall stand with you. Shit, you're on your own.
Hail, adventurer. Are you a dungeon master with a desire to transport your players to fantastical settings? Perhaps they are deep in the dungeon of a mad lich.
Fools, you have intervened for the last time. Let's see you survive my fireball.
Or perhaps the party has just come across bandits, and the Goliath monk releases a flurry of blows and a stunning strike to gain control of the conflict. Nice rolls on the attack. Or maybe the party is taking a breather after another difficult quest. If this sounds like something you want at your next ttrpg session, then head over to battlebards.com.
By subscribing to BattleBards Prime, you get the ability to immerse your players in your campaign. You'll get complete streaming access to the libraries of both BattleBards and Plate Mail games. And whether your game is in person or virtual, you won't be limited as you will have access to a caster and a mixer to be able to broadcast the tracks to all of your players. And of course, if you want to download and keep any tracks, then you get 20% off all in-store purchases. So what are you waiting for, adventurer? A quest posting at the local guild hall? Get over to battlebards.com and subscribe today, and use the coupon code ADVENTURE at checkout. Stay proficient, adventurers.
Salutations, listeners. My name is Professor Benjamin O'Toole of the Waterdeep University and Arcane Institute. I'm known for being an educator, philanthropist, gentleman, adventurer, researcher, and now a conservationist. I wish to express my concern as of late in regards to the dwindling population of the majestic owlbear. These beautiful creatures are all too often poached and hunted by so-called adventuring parties for resources like hides, arcane focuses, foci, and experience. Here at the O'Toole Owlbear Conservation, we are making a difference with our foster and breeding programs by taking in orphaned cubs? No, chicks. Juvenile owlbears. Our volunteers work closely with the owlbears in our care until they are of age and suitable for the reintroduction to the wild. Without our, and potentially your, intervention in this matter, owlbears could very well disappear from our force. So, how can you help us in our effort in preserving the Aves mammalia? You can get involved in this effort by symbolically adopting one of our owlbear juveniles. Your donation will go straight to their support and care. Take a tour of our facilities and read our various literatures to educate yourself on this wonderful creature. Write the lord or lady of your land and encourage policies that protect such wildlife. Learn druidic magic and swear to the safeguard of the wilds and all the creatures that live inside of it, vowing to the defense against the brutal adventuring parties who go hunting for these gentle creatures in such a barbaric manner. And in that vow, you follow an ancient druidic path that eventually leads you to the spirit of the forest, and they bestow upon you the power to take back the lands that once belonged to the beast and the bird that roam upon this realm. Recycle. Please help us in this noble effort. For more information, please direct all correspondence via a sending spell to the Office of Conservation at the O'Toole Owlbear Conservation. For inquiries regarding my research, Adventuring Days, my latest publication, speaking opportunities, private lessons, book club, and knitting circle, please forward your sending spell to the Office of Sir Benjamin O'Toole of the Waterdeep University and Arcane Institute. The O'Toole Conservation name, logo, and image are all protected licensure and owned by O'Toole Philanthropy. Use of this without the express written consent of Sir Benjamin O'Toole could result in legal action, a failed death save, a gentleman's acknowledgement of a worthy adversary for being outfoxed, and or loss of consortium. Side effects of druidic magic can include uncontrollable vine growth, sun fascination of fungi, inability to revert from wild shape, body odor, an acquired taste for good berries, splinters, tanking for the party, depression, and or becoming one with the elements. The O'Toole Conservation is not responsible for anyone being maimed, eaten, killed, or disfigured by anyone attempting to approach owlbears. Please do not contact our officers with liability claims. We will cast silence. We mean it. Casting speaking with animals within our facilities is strictly prohibited except by authorized personnel. We will take legal action.
It's like I'm done with life right now.
Hi, gang. We're back. Mid-break announcements. Not a whole lot. Schedule's pretty much stable. You can find us on all of our usual shit.
Until I
join
fuck it
Discord
up.
if you're not there. Join Discord if you're not there. Oh my god!
Every time he tries
Get a
to talk,
fucking
we just
word
gotta
in.
chime in.
I'm offloading this job.
Aw, I was trying to move my camera so you guys could see a cat, but then she left.
Yep, nope, it's all gone now. All right, let's move on.
Just check our Discord. Discord, Twitter, everything you need is there.
So, let's get back into it
Doom!
before my brain decides to quit. What?
Doom!
Oh, Doom!
Eternal!
Yes, if you're a Twitch subscriber here, we give away a game now once a month. This month is Doom Eternal, so it'll be a Steam key. How do you qualify? All you have to do is sub to us on Twitch. Do it by the end of the month, you'll qualify. There we go. We'll announce it in the first week of April. And then we'll announce the new game for April. And it's just a vicious cycle from there.
I think Brian's about to quit.
I don't think about is a thing. It's peas.
All right. Before we dive fully back in, I have to immediately retcon something because this is how fried my brain is I said the wrong name. It crossed wires. I said one name because it was in my head. It wasn't the correct one. The healer Mana Ame is familiar with in the Greenwood is not Baruthiel. Some of you, Kevin, will know that Baruthiel is the former queen of Gondor that was the portrait back at Dorsey's Inn. You guys heavily analyzed. That name was just on the top of my head. For some reason, that was not who she was referring to. The name I meant to give you was Northriel.
So
that is on
Baruthiel
me.
is important because you're thinking about her.
Look, if at this point you don't think... If it took you this long to think that she's important after her portrait being in Dorsey's place, the revelation of who she is and from Gondor and everything like that,
What if she...
what attachment she has to the cat's eye...
What if she's in charge of the cat's eye? Like right now, she's the one leading the whole cat's eye shebang.
What? Does she have cats? Did I miss some? Wait.
Anyway.
I don't think I remember certain things. Oh, Brian's leaving. I'm legitimately not remembering something clearly. It's fine.
Yes, session 16. The painting is a portrait of Queen Baruthiel of Gondor, mid-800s to 900s, wife of King Tiranin, who made Pelargir his bastion. The king and queen got divorced, and the queen left on a ship to the south.
Yeah! Oh, shit! Wait, is she still alive?
Doubt it.
Doubt this.
You would also recall the last time you were in Osgiliath and you intercepted the guy passing off a message to a cat, and Malvhor said something like the couriers or something, I don't even remember exactly, or been compromised, and he got real confused. He's like, how can that happen? Baruthiel's cat saw to it. Go back and watch the episode. He said the name Baruthiel.
Yeah, and it probably didn't click because Baruthiel was just a name of a woman in a portrait to me at that point.
Anywho, the name Mana Ame meant to give was Northriel. So, completely
I'm sorry, I
different
think you
person.
mean Mommy Ame.
I do not. Okay.
Okay,
Before
back
my
on track.
Brain fries out any further, so we can go ahead and you guys can, unless there's anything else you wish to do, we can start diving into the undertakings and what have you. So I guess the first question is, who's going where?
I'm sticking in Osgiliath.
I'll be in Osgiliath at the House of Healing.
I was going to go to Pelargir.
Yeah, I'll stick to the House of Healing. We can have a like a boys' week.
A boys' day, just at a spa, just
Spa day, darling.
Boys' night out.
I was just thinking of like Vivian from Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Yes. After a bath, I will go grab my horse and go to Pelargir.
What's the name of your horse?
Wild Step. And I'm gonna give him another carrot because I still have one of those.
I can't give you DM's inspiration, but I can give you Matt's inspiration, which is worthless and absolutely does nothing.
I appreciate it.
All right.
I do not appreciate the title of that clip, Paul.
Oh fuck.
All right, so 2 of you are staying in Osgiliath, and Fig will be taking off for Peligir. I guess who would like to go first if we're just tackling undertakings?
I
I
mean,
guess 2 of you are the same thing, but
2 of us are the same thing.
I'm looking for the narration of the character of what they're doing. How do they accomplish their tasks for the most part? So,
I'll go first.
okay. Your undertaking is what?
Healing corruption.
Hokidoki. Yeah. You may go ahead and, give us, paint for the audience, if you will, and myself, a narrative of Cirion, of how does he set about to heal this sort of dark mark on his mind and his heart that sort of really got to him in this last journey.
Booze and women. No, I'm kidding. So with the House of Healing, I'm gonna sit on that cot that Mariame pointed out to me. Try to like sit and then describe to her. It's like, well, I hope you'll be able to help me with this.
We can certainly work something. So tell me what ails you, and we can figure out a remedy of sorts, something that is most tailored to the way you heal, both mentally and physically.
While we were in Kirathungul and we were around creatures you probably don't even want to know about, since then there's been a fog on my mind. Fog I just can't seem to uplift. I struggle to just be the best that is myself. I don't feel 100% ever since then. I've rested to some degree. I've eaten. But there's just something holding me.
When you have walked this earth for as long as my people, the ever-encroaching shadow has always been something that's been at the forefront of our minds. Certain areas of Middle-earth fare better than others, and the ones that you've recently trekked through are by no stretch of the imagination one of the worst, and not really somewhere you want to spend much time in, as that the very air itself seems to attack you and eat away at you, make you see things that aren't there, visions that you wish would never enter your mind again.
There's many I wish I would forget. Walk by, I will forever refer to it as Minas Ithil. Those monsters call it Minas Morgul now.
It's not just those monsters. It has now become commonplace among the people of Osgiliath, the people of Ithilien, and soon it'll spread as things do, like fire, as traders wander from one city to the next, one emissary. Soon the whole world will refer to the once great city as Minas Morgul, city of sorcery, the Tower of Sorcery.
Walking by it, I was just taken back, guarding that citadel, wandering through the streets. And they came. I just came back.
Do you believe that you did everything you could when you were there?
I like to think so.
Do you believe that?
My lady, you're always gonna think that you could always have done more. They overwhelmed us.
From what I've heard, I'm inclined to agree. I'm no military tactician, not even a fighter by any stretch of the imagination. But from what I understand, the deck was most assuredly stacked against you.
And all I wanted to do when I saw it again was I just wanted to take it back. Storm that city by myself if I had to. As ridiculous as that sounds.
You'd be marching headlong to your death, Cirion.
I knew that. And big reason why I stopped.
What ails you? What ails your mind? Is this lingering memory of loss and of failure, of the ailing of wishing to do more, despite its impossibility? Had you stayed, you would have died alongside your brothers, and though your death may have been honorable, what good would it have ultimately done? I'm inclined to believe that the action you took saved lives for those that could get out by your lead. Were able to, and were hopefully able to come to cities such as Osgiliath, be it as it may, as she sort of gestures, or onward to Minas Tirith, to Peligir, and live out the rest of their days, whereas in Minas Ithil it would have been snuffed out. The path you're on, you tell yourself it's vengeance, it's justice, it's reclaim what was lost, but I think what you need to come to terms with is acceptance. What is lost is lost. Those who died, died. And I think what needs to come to a zenith is the willingness to let go. For as long as you carry this conceived burden that you put upon your shoulders, it will grow heavier and heavier until it drags you into a grave.
There is something I feel I can do to rectify what happened. I recently learned of a traitor who pretty much let the enemy through one of the gates. Little is known about them, but as I learn more, as I'm informed, I will make that traitor pay in blood.
Do you believe that will bring you peace?
Yes. I can't take back Minas Ithil. I can't defend that citadel. It has been lost. That is certain. I would love to take it back, restore it to its former glory even. But I am one man in this fight. I would love to get an army and take it back. What I know I can do for certain is make sure that traitor is 6 feet under.
Know that this quest that you've set yourself on, find this individual and do what needs to be done in your mind, walks upon the edge of a knife. Stray but a little and you will fail.
I have no intention of failing.
Intention does not matter.
What do you recommend, my lady?
Letting go.
It's a hard thing to do.
No one said it would be easy.
All the ale in the world I have tried to help forget that night. That battle. Dying looks on my men's faces. Their families when they heard their fathers, sons, brothers weren't coming home. The ale helps with the pain, but it dulls more little by little every day. And I I feel just some semblance of peace to know that I can bring this traitor to justice, whether at the end of my sword or by the crowd that he betrayed. I know it won't restore Minas Ithil. Maybe I should start calling it Minas Morgul. But at least it'll be the beginning of something.
I can only provide you with advice. The path you will walk is a long one, and you're going to come through many forks in the road where you must choose. And the decision will never be as clear as you may hope it to be. And repercussions of such will not come until much later, and may never come in your lifetime. If you believe this will bring you peace, then you should pursue it, though tread carefully. When you make your other decisions, make sure it is the right one.
I will. I don't want another tragedy to fall on Minas Tirith, Osgiliath, Pelargir, like it happened to Minas Morgul.
Then do yourself a favor. Cut back on the drink a bit. Your skin would come back to life, and you would be absolutely stunning of somebody in your age.
Cirion just kind of cracks a smirk. One problem at a time.
Here. She takes a pestle and mortar and grinds a few herbs and lights a candle in front of like a table in front of you, and then throws it into the flame. Breathe in deeply. This will relax you. Your brothers, those soldiers you led, are at peace. Gondor must prevail, and in time, Minas Ithil may return. But as of now, you're needed elsewhere. You have friends that rely upon you. And soon, I imagine, more than just them will rely upon you, if the path you walk holds true. Relax, breathe this in. And when you wake, hopefully you feel a little lighter.
I feel better, stronger, and as a captain of Gondor.
I want you to picture a vast open space of green fields. As you're doing that, I want you to imagine the lives of those that you led, that you brought to that battle. Know that their journey does not end here. Death is just another path, one that we all must take. The grey rain curtain of this world rolls back and all turns to silver glass. Then you see it.
I can.
White shores, and beyond a far green country, under a swift sunrise.
It's beautiful.
It is. Cirion, go ahead. Where I've moved the stuff around, that I'll go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Okay.
Self-reflection. 18.
I'll take it.
You eventually sort of nod off in a deep relaxation, and when you come to, you find yourself refreshed and a little lighter, your mind a little clearer, and you see just the candle itself just emitting a small string of gray smoke as the flame itself has been snuffed. You can go ahead and heal 2 shadow points.
Sweet.
There you go. Is there anything else Cirion does outside of his undertaking prior to everyone reconvening?
I was hoping that 6 HP would come back. I'm going to actually kind of take a note from Vig. I'm basically gonna go like shower and get my clothes, my armor cleaned.
Sorry, you brought up a good point. I forgot. How many shadow points do you have now?
Currently 1.
Your ceiling returns. You can return the hit dice and the 6 that you lost from it.
Sweet. But yeah, I'm gonna take a note from Fig's book and pretty much like just get like a whole new Cirion essentially. Go get my armor cleaned, go get myself cleaned, and I'm actually gonna. Oh, this won't matter too much. I'm gonna go to a smith and get my weapons all polished up. And that'll be it.
All right. Who would like to go next?
I mean, I feel like it makes sense for Malvhor to go next since we're still in that neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah, Malvor's going to heal corruption, but instead of having a therapy session with Mana Ame in the same way that Cirion did, I don't want to repeat the same thing. I think Malvhor is going to kind of pick up a new skill, because I don't think he's done this a whole lot, but he's probably has some experience with this. But he's just gonna paint. And I imagine there's like an herb garden somewhere in the near or around the houses of healing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that
A small one.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be large, but a place to be outside in the sun, surrounded by life. It'd be a great place for him to set up and just start painting and just channel his emotions and his inner thoughts through his work. And try to just soothe his spirit about what he's done, the danger he's put the group in. Is it worth it? I mean, for one child, but I mean, if you know, and he's just going to wrestle with those thoughts and explore them.
Okay. You find a canvas and some paints where you can in Osgiliath, and you set up a small easel by the herb garden and just find a moment of peace and quiet, something that has been really missing in the last few weeks. Hell, probably for the last month or two. A lot of chaos in the mind that has been a real stressor ever since being cast out from Osgiliath and arriving in Peligir and reconnecting with a long-lost love and potentially finding out that you might be a father. It's a lot to cope with and never really getting a moment to stop and take it all in. You find it all sort of hit you at once. In that moment of your artistic inspiration. I won't say how Malvhor takes it. I feel like that's up to you on how he arrives on all of those feelings. But it is a lot for him to process. And the act of painting, whether he is initially really good at it as something he's never done before, or he is a little rough around the edges, you find a little bit of relaxation in the monotony of the brush strokes and the beauty of the herb garden, as small as it is in a rundown city like this. And it is enough for you to just sort of focus and put things into perspective of importance and priority. Knowing that the journey ahead is still a long one. And now, for a long time, you've been a bard, a warden. You always felt robbed that your time in the Gondorian military wasn't ripe with adventure and excitement. And now, over the last few months, in the last few days, you're starting to wonder, was it that bad?
Yeah. Maybe I'm not as old as Locke teased me for.
Perhaps prematurely gray. But after Cirith Ungol, you're convinced you're now permanently gray. And it may have even taken a few years off your life, but you're determined to do what you believe is right, and the debate on whether the course of action is the correct one isn't what's at stake here. It's the life of a child and a life of an innocent, somebody who was caught up in the crossfire of whatever the world wished to throw at her. And that is something you have chosen to step in front of and place yourself in between her and the rest of the world.
Oh yeah. Risk my life versus risking hers, as Laura put it.
So I will ask you to also make an insight check, unless you think there is a better check for Malvhor in this situation. But insight is just going to be purely self-reflection on how to sort of not compartmentalize, but deal with these stressors and all these feelings that he's finally been able to unearth.
Can I argue for a performance check to see how well I put my feelings into my work? How my work guides my thought process. Because the work is a critical part of this healing.
Mm-hmm. I'll say sure. Yeah.
I also get a +8 to that.
Art is very therapeutic.
Yep. Can be. 17. You step back from your finished piece that you might have actually worked on over a course of a few days.
Yeah, probably.
Honing your newfound skills. It's by no means a masterpiece. King Erenil II wouldn't hang it in the citadel of Minas Tirith, but you know, it might be something you'd be proud to hang. And maybe in time you could be the court painter. But you can go ahead and heal 2 shadow points. And if that puts you under 2 total,
which it does,
you can heal back that hit point ceiling and that hit die.
It's good to be at max health again.
So before we move on, I'll clarify, because we are using a homebrewed rule for these shadow points. If you watched the Darkening of Mirkwood campaign. We did the rules as written. We're changing things here. So players, this was essentially how I've been handling it for this time. So if you found it a bit too punishing, let me know. We can rework things. But as of now, because the undertaking at a base, if you succeed the check, heals 2 at a minimum. If you succeed with a 25 or higher, you heal 4. So when you are gaining shadow points, I have the punishment trip on the 2s. So 2, 4, 6. And anytime that trips, you roll a hit dice. Whatever's rolled is the damage removed from the ceiling, and you take the damage, and the die is burned until you heal the corruption.
That is.
So that's currently what it is. Obviously, that's going to be really punishing, and if you have a lot of shadow points that you choose not to get rid of. So, if we find that is way too much, we can workshop something, but that's currently the situation.
I mean, on paper, sounds good.
Yeah.
And first test run of it didn't seem too bad.
Yeah, the theory is that you can, on a successful check in a fellowship phase, you can at least get 1 level of that gone. If you do really well, you can get 2 of levels gone. So, however way you want to mechanic that one. But that's why I don't have it trip on just 1. I've kind of done away with permanent shadow points unless something really bad happens in this campaign.
Like we murder a child.
I am sick of trying to help you out.
That being said, Malvhor, is there anything else outside of the undertaking that you wish to do until everyone reconvenes to press onward?
The only thing I just want to note is it's probably a good idea to reconvene in Pelagia when we're at the end of this, so that's just
I was just going to break into brief roleplay a little bit anyways to discuss that and have Fig get caught up with what you guys said to Mana Ame since she wasn't there, so but you kind of beat me to the punch.
Okay. Peg.
Actually, yeah, I'll actually still roleplay really quick because I'll right before I head out, I'll also ask, especially to Malvhor, I will stop by to Goldwyn to update her if you want me to tell her anything.
I appreciate that, Fig. I really do. Just tell her I'll be back.
I can do that. Is Mana Ame traveling too? I can escort her if need be.
I don't think she's traveling down to Pelagia. She didn't seem convinced that her place here could be easily left behind. She might send an assistant down, but you could always check with her before you depart. But if we do bring Merwin to the Greenwood as a backup plan, it might be we could bring her through the House of Healing and have Mana Ame check her out.
I see. Then do you also want me to convince Goldwyn for me to take Merwin back here when we get back together?
No. I plan on coming down to Pelagia after I rest for a time. I wouldn't want to put that burden upon you. I will take that burden upon myself.
Understood. I think that's it. Yeah. Well, I'll be back then.
Okay, Arnold.
I was like, don't you say Terminator, I swear. I knew what I said right when I left my lips. I was like, ah.
I feel like saying Terminator would break the fourth wall too much.
Yeah. Oh, then who's Arnold?
Just a story I heard a long time ago. You reminded me of it. It's not important.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna feed Wildstep a carrot really quick, and then I'll head my way to Peligir.
Okay. You, on horseback, get to Peligir in a few days, day or two, and arrive back in the port city of Peligir that sits straddled across the Anduin. What would you like to do?
My undertaking... I guess, logically speaking, I would speak with Goldwyn first, actually. But
Okay.
it would pretty much be just to literally tell everything that's happened.
Hi, is Merwin dead? No? Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I would see how
good.
everything is. I'm paraphrasing because I don't want to tell the whole retelling of what's happened since we left.
That's fine.
But I would check on her to make sure she's okay, and then I would tell the whole story, and then, yeah, I'll start there.
Okay. Yeah, well, you stop in, give her a quick update. You do notice Merwin is up and moving around.
Oh! Does she look healthier, or just more energy?
She's more energy for sure. If you want to inspect her, you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Some color back into her face. She seems a little groggy, like almost just like getting over like the flu, like you just kicked it like a day or two ago, but you're still dealing with it, kind of thing.
Oops, I don't have advantage.
You didn't need to roll an investigation. I was just telling you what you saw.
Oh, I was so used to roll. Okay.
You said the word
Like,
investigation, and it's just like, investigation! Roll!
Yeah. No, she's not hiding it, and kids pretty much wear shit, like, on their face. Like, they don't...
Yeah.
They're not good at hiding things, so it's pretty easy to deduce. Yeah, she's up and moving, but still looks like she's getting over something, kind of vibe. But definitely improvement in when the last you saw her.
Okay.
Oh. But you give the update.
Okay, and then as I'm kind of heading out to then spend the day how I want for my undertaking, I will relay the message to Goldwyn. I'll say Malvhor told me to tell you he'll be back.
That's good news. Considering Merwin's up and walking, I can only... Did you give her the full story?
Ooh. Oh shit. I would have pulled her aside and I would have spoken plainly. Yes, that is very Fig to do.
Okay.
That is a very Fig thing to do.
Okay.
That's almost too discerning for Fig, in fact. Just pulling her aside.
Well, I want only her to know. I don't want... The kid does not need to know. If Laura ends up eavesdropping, fine, but...
Just pokes her head in through a window. What you talking about?
Hi.
What you whispering? secrets. I like secrets.
Yeah, and I'll just like be like, okay, come here.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't do that. She receives the news, and she just says, "Well, I'm glad she's feeling better, but this is something I'm going to need to process, that we're not quite out of the woods yet."
No, we are not. But
In fact, we have to go into the woods.
there is progress. There is a light that we can now start to see a little bit through the trees.
Well, let's hope that light stays where it is and you can get to it.
The Greenwood is my home. I've lived in it in and out. I am confident surviving in it and coming back.
Good. Good. I've only ever been near it.
It has been my home for as long as I can remember.
Well, then perhaps your homecoming will be the winds of change that we so desperately need.
I think it may.
I'll look forward to everyone's return before your departure again. So I won't hold you. Go whatever you need to do. I'll be here. I trust Wild Step is treating you well.
Yes, he really likes carrots.
He does. If you ever have some downtime in here, and this goes to all of you, I believe, we can take time and train and practice a few things with your mounts.
Yes, I don't think my errand will take too long, so I will come back, and he deserves a good run outside after being stalled up for a few days.
Very good. Well, I won't hold you any further. I have some chores to do around the house, and Laura should return soon, so have to get supper started, which you're more than welcome to join us this evening, but I'll let you get to your errands.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And breathe easier, Goldwyn. We will take care of this.
Ever so slightly, a little bit easier.
Day by day.
Day by day.
And I'll turn slowly and take my leave.
Okay. We'll head back out and head into the city proper of Peligir. What is your undertaking of choice?
I'm gonna go to, I forgot what it's called, Halls of Lore? House of Lore?
Singular
Halls of Lore. Hall of Lore. Yeah. And I'm gonna look for the scrawny looking kid named Aram.
Aram?
For a Loremaster undertaking.
Oh, why can't I find this undertaking?
No.
Stand by. I need to
Oh, that might be
find-
copyright after a while.
Yeah, it probably is. Stand by. I need to find the undertaking, the specific undertaking in the book.
Hmm. Do. I wanna find Aram and chat with him.
Oh, he's around. No.
Oh. Hmm. Oh well.
What?
Nothing. I had thought of something else, but I made my decision on stream.
Yes, you did. I'm losing my mind.
Is not in any of the screenshots you sent either.
No, because I'm looking at those pages. Now I'm trying to figure. I did not make this the fuck up. It's somewhere. I'm not gonna waste more time.
Oh, is it in the Rivendell book?
Opening it. Sorry, everybody.
Which one was that?
It is. Oh, look at you.
Hey, me! Oh, because of Elrond.
Yeah, they introduced this undertaking in the Rivendell region guide. Messenger is able to unveil some specific features. I'm just verifying you don't need to make checks for this. I'm just.
Oh.
It is not possible to bring the same item to the attention of the same Loremaster more than once. Makes sense.
Bitch, I already told you!
Yes. Okay. Cool. It's exactly what I thought it was. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't, making bullshit up. Which DMs can do. There's nothing illegal about it. I just don't want to do that. Anyway. Okay. Sorry. You cross over to the central area in Peligir that sort of water taxis over, or bridge, your choice really, depends on your mood, to sort of the main governing section of Peligir. And you've been here before. You came here with Cirion previously, looking into a few items, and were relatively unsuccessful, and you decided to go out into the wilderness and meditate upon your problem instead.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
You walk into a stone structure that spans out a bit and has a singular small tower, not quite like a citadel tower. It doesn't serve any defensive purpose, but it does sit above the city just a hair. You walk in, the air is cool from all the stone, and it's low lit by candles mostly, and a few sconces that are lit. You look around and you do some asking, and you do find one of the caretakers of the hall is a young individual by the name of Aram. Hey, what can I do for you?
Hi. I start taking glove off of my one hand and then reach for the armband. I go,
yeah.
I need your help as I start sliding the armband off.
Oh, this is a magnificent piece. Where did you get this?
it was found, but I don't know what it is, and I need to know what it is.
Oh, well, that makes two of us. Ah. Never quite seen anything like this. It's fine craftsmanship on the metal worker. Is this real gold? Yeah, that's real gold. Why do people do that?
I don't know why you just bit metal.
It's that make sure it's not like a soft metal and that it's not just a fake piece of gold. No, that's real. I think
Fig
it's
just
loose.
like slowly cocks her head to the side.
I think that's loose. Oh boy. All right.
Do you want me to pull it out?
Oh God, no! Don't do that.
Oh.
Don't stay over there. But don't stay over there. Come, follow me. Come on. We got all sorts of things here. I haven't really dove into too much craftsmanship sort of stuff. What are you looking to figure out about this?
What it is, if it does anything, if it's magic of sorts, I suppose.
He stops and turns around. Are you saying this is magic? You think this is magic? Oh.
Sometimes it moves or twitches on my arm. In a direction.
A direction? Direction change?
Only when I am traveling.
That's peculiar. Well, let's see what we can find. Probably turn up several books on some craftsmanship, try and figure things out. He leads you down a few hallways, and as you're just passing room after room of like stacked scrolls and shelves of various tomes and books, that most of which are dusted and cobweb covered. Some are a little bit more cleaned up, but he leads you around to one that you both sort of walk into, and there's a wide desk there, and he places the armband down, the gold armband. All right. So, you're a little taller than me. Can you reach up there? There's a small section of scrolls. Can you just pull out pretty much all of them? I can get a ladder, but you're just thank you. Oh God, need you around here more often. All right, let's see here. He unfurls the scrolls, and the two of you sort of look through and trying to find various aspects that sort of match craftsmanship and any semblance of like lore, if there's like is a symbol for something, what it might reveal and give to you. And initially this sort of takes a day or two, sort of break for a while, come back, keep looking into it. What?
Nothing. I thought it would be a few hours.
I'm trying to convey that
Gotcha.
This is intense research. He just doesn't know these things.
Well, why not? That's fine.
If there's certain people in the world that would just know, but not everyone is on the same level, so I want to give a semblance of what sort of characters you're dealing with. Let me pull something up here. Oh, did I get rid of it? Of course I did. After a while, one day he sort of starts reciting some things more or less to the room and to you as like what you have figured out, as just like a reiteration. All right, so this is clearly some ancient elven make. That much we know. It's in the shape of a tree. From what we've gathered and understood, I believe this is supposed to resemble the one of the trees in the elven home of Valinor. Specifically, I believe, yeah, if it's gold, this has to be Laurelin.
Laurel, what?
Laurelin. There were two trees in Valinor that gave light to the world, and one of them was Laurelin, and it was a golden tree. And one of the Valar created these trees. Oh, as he's flipping through a book, I think this might be something.
What?
Like an enchantment. I think there's an enchantment on this. You don't need to drop anything, Fig. It's fine. I know it's exciting stuff in here.
No, there was a mouse. I kicked the chair to scare it.
No. Okay. No. The trees were made in a pair. So there was the golden tree and the silver tree. One representing sunlight, one representing moonlight. Brightness and darkness, the balance of the world. I bet this has a partner.
A silver armband.
I bet there's a silver armband. And this enchantment that over here in this, as he points to a different scroll that is completely separated out from the pile of research about the trees. The elves, one of the old artificers of old, did have several bits of enchantments that they did. Some, were for war and protection. But what?
My mouse fell again, so I thought it made a noise.
Enough of the mice, Fig. Focus. Come on.
You should close up those holes.
Yeah, we've been asking for weeks. No one shows up.
Get a cat.
Don't get a cat.
No, some of them were for protection, some of them were for fighting. But some enchantments don't necessarily always have to be like that. Like, look, this one I found here. The same enchantment can be placed on two different items as a way of finding each other. And if this is supposed to be the representation of Laurelin, then I bet there is a partner out there for Telperion. I bet that tug is this armband trying to find its partner.
Telperion.
Yeah.
Elven names.
Yeah. I believe it's Quenya. I believe that's what it's written in. But unfortunately, the trees were destroyed. I don't have much records of them here. But I bet this armband has a partner, and I bet that tug is it's trying to find its partner.
Interesting.
Fascinating is the better word. I bet, in fact, if that is the case, I bet the frequency of that tug will increase the closer you get.
I must be far then.
Maybe. When's the last time you felt it?
that a few days ago now? In the lair?
Yeah, it's gonna be several days.
Few
'Cause the
days.
lair, it happened in the lair, and then
Yeah.
going through Ithilien to get Osgiliath was already like 3-4 days.
Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you. It's dusty in here.
Yes, it is. It was a few days ago.
Yeah, if you haven't felt it since then, I got a few coins saying that you're going in the opposite direction.
Is there anything of importance? Elven, perhaps? North? East of here?
Oh, jeez. I'm
When I was at or near no, traveling in Ithilien or near Cirith Ungol, it was north or northeast direction.
I'm not too brushed up on my elven history, mainly because that's real old history and it wasn't too documented on our part. And between you and me, the elves are pretty tight-lipped about a few of those things. But from what I do know, the East actually holds a lot of significance to the elves. They awoke in the East, far from here. And I believe one of the Valar was guiding them west to take them to Valinor. And over time, a handful of them stayed behind. And that's how we got the elves that we have today. The Noldor, the Sylvan, the Avari.
I see. Well, it might be some time before I go that far east, potentially.
Maybe. Whoever might be wearing the partner might be coming to you. They would
Can
both
you
be tugging.
confirm if someone is wearing it?
I guess I can't really, actually. They would just be tugging towards each other, as long as it's being worn. So you're wearing one, it's tugging towards the other one, but that doesn't necessarily mean the other's being worn. But it's a real piece of elven history.
I will contemplate it some more.
Do trees bear any significance to you?
I grew up under the trees, so the forests always remind me of home.
Well, like I said, the two trees that these represent were created for real by a Valar. They served a real purpose. I mean, I'm not a big believer in, fate or divine destiny or what have you. But if you are, maybe that's something to think about.
Strange things in life can happen. But I had always figured it was survival to live.
Oh, there's way more important things than that. Take knowledge.
Yes. When you grow up in the woods, though, it's only survival.
You're not in the woods now.
No. I'm not.
Yeah, well. I bet there's quite a story here as he holds up the armband.
We'll see, I suppose. I'll take it gently from him, slide it back on, get my glove back on. Thank you for the help.
Yeah. I might have a few things laying around here that might go in a little bit more in depth about the trees themselves if you're curious, but as far as I can tell, this is a well-made armband by ancient elves of Belleran, and it's trying to find something.
Hmm.
And
Can
if I
it
had to
help
guess,
find
it's a
out
partner.
how to beat vampires, too?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, actually, do you know how to kill a vampire?
Do I look like I know how to kill anything?
You said knowledge is important.
You got me there, but in this instance, I don't have that bit of knowledge.
Hmm. Well,
Look, quite honestly, I'd be useless in a fight. I'm a bit of a coward.
do you know
Scrolls are
anyone
easy.
who might know how to beat a vampire?
Vampire hunter?
Those exist.
Maybe?
Hmm.
Oh, it'd be so cool if they were, though.
This is no longer
Actually-
knowledge, is it?
Actually, I think we might not have a record of it here, but a few years ago, a party of elves from the Greenwood passed through. I think some prince was leading them through. I don't know why. But I got to talking with one of them, and I think they have a story or a poem about some vampire fight.
Oh. Do you have
Like I
it?
said, no, I don't. Like I said, they're real tight-lipped about some stuff. You're from the Greenwood, maybe you know.
Is there a title to it?
Is there a title?
Does it sound familiar at all to me? Like, would it be, I don't know, a bedtime story I was told growing up or something?
Story.
Would you like to hear the story of the vampire?
Yeah!
Yeah, Grandpa's my favorite.
How does that not sound like a fig bedtime story?
Go ahead. I guess you can give me a history or a traditions check, and I'll say you can have advantage because this is the region essentially where you grew up, and it might have been covered in your teachings, perhaps.
Ha
I had high hopes for that one.
Poetry is not Fig's strong suit.
Wait, I think I still have viewer's inspiration.
You do.
I'ma use it. Hold on. Maybe it will help.
Maybe.
Ah! Hey, got you to double digits.
Funny enough, poetry is not Fig's strong suit.
Damn it. It's not, though. That makes perfect sense.
You probably nodded off if there was ever a history lesson about it, or even just like a poetry part of being recited in any of the halls of Thranduil or the villages or what have you. You just, nah.
Oh, I hated learning of poetry.
Yeah, a lot of double meanings in poetry. Not really. I like clear, concise facts.
Yes, spoken plainly.
Yes, this is so hard.
Well,
But I think they have a story, so I'm sure you could find it if you ask them, especially if you're on good terms with them.
yes, I will have to ask. We're going home.
Well, I hope I was able to help. It was great having you here. I don't really get too many visitors here. The only other person that's been through here is that old merchant guy.
Old and the mice. Old merchant guy.
Yeah. What's his name?
More.
Yes.
Why was he here?
I was researching some stuff.
We, I wonder what he was looking for. We are acquainted with each other. Do you know where he is now?
He's probably in the city. Honestly, I don't know the coming and goings of anyone coming through the Hall of Lore here. I think he fancied some of the historical sections, particularly First Age and some stuff about the Southlands. I don't know. I wasn't the one who helped him, so got to talk to him briefly. Not much of a talker.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it was real cool having you in here.
Oh, yes. Thank you for the help.
Yeah, no problem. If you experience any cool stuff out there, I'd love to, record it.
I will let you know.
Awesome.
If I especially discover more about this armband.
Oh yeah, especially that. We got incomplete records. I gotta fill these out.
I will tell you about vampires too.
Oh, that would be so cool. Vampires. Are vampires undead?
Uh,
I don't know. Undead things kind of fascinate me a little bit.
oh,
Anyway, hope I can help. If you ever need anything, come on back. Or you just want to chat, I'm open for chatting.
yes. I will stop by again.
Cool.
I kind of give like a small awkward wave because now I'm like, do I just walk away now? Have I ended the conversation? I don't. This is a very different human, and I'm just gonna like slowly turn and go. But of course, as I'm going, my hands are over the armband a little bit, and I'll just mutter like, "Look, what did you give me?" And I'll keep walking, and I'll head back to Gold. Yeah, I'll head back to Goldwyn's.
At the
if that was-
parlor.
Yeah, I heavily considered it. But I think we have enough things for now.
Go to the parlor and dispose of all his cats.
Oh wait, no.
Is there anything else Fig does in the interim until her companions arrive back in Peligir?
I'm No, probably not by herself at this rate. Honestly though, she would probably stalk a few cats to see what they're doing.
Okay.
And then she would also take Goldwyn's offer of just spending time with Wildstep. At the very least, narratively.
I was gonna say, I believe that's an entirely different undertaking.
I figured, and that's fine.
So, cool. All right. Got everyone's undertaking wrapped up. You got what you wanted out of it. Cool. All right. For the sake of time, you're all reconvening in Peligir?
I think so.
Unless Cirion has something to say otherwise.
Okay. Two of you arrive sometime later with your horses and arrive in Peligir and meet up with Fig and Goldwyn and anyone else you choose to, and take what moments you can to convey what's going to be happening over the next few weeks, and then prepare as a group to plot out your course between here and the Greenwood, and where specifically you'll be ending in Greenwood. And that is where we're going to end tonight, and we'll pick up next week, essentially right here, where you guys can wrap up any other RP you want with the NPCs, determine your journey rolls, and map it out from there, and we'll determine all the journey events and stuff like that, and can carry on to now the longest journey that you guys have embarked upon.
New
so
longest
far.
journey.
Hey,
But
But
here's
you got horses.
here's also the thing. Like, Amon Lank, if we're traveling from Amon Lank to Kirith Ungol, like, the Black Gate is a very viable option, because we're already going south.
Oh no. I'm not ready to discuss this yet.
Just something to sleep on.
No.
Returning back to Mordor.
Let's accomplish task 1 before you get to task 5. Alright.
So I made a face real quick because Nova was down on the floor and I heard this weird like, ooh, and I was like, what the heck? And I looked at her and she's looking up at me blepping and she just went, and I'm like, why are you meowing while blepping? And that was the face I made.
So, thank you all so much for joining us. That's all for us tonight. We'll be back next Tuesday. Our schedule is what it is. Feel free to drop in wherever you can. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay proficient.